David, thanks for joining me. Before we get into the platform itself, I'd like to start at the beginning. What actually started SafetyDocs? What was the moment where you realized something wasn't right?
Thanks for having me. And yes, there really was a moment. A few years ago, I was consulting for a company that delivers large events in the north of England. These weren't small events. We were working with major arenas and stadiums, and the documentation we provided was genuinely regarded as gold standard. We got that feedback consistently from venues and event companies, so there was a real sense of pride in the quality of what we were producing.
So what changed?
We had to introduce a new document into the existing suite. Specifically, it was to clearly define the roles of senior managers during a serious emergency, something that might result in a partial or full evacuation. Now that sounds straightforward, but the reality is once you add one new document, it has to work in harmony with everything else. It can't contradict the emergency preparedness plan. It can't conflict with the evacuation plan. It has to align with the event-wide risk assessment, the command structure, communications plans, the lot. And that's before you even consider that some venues will request up to 30, sometimes 35 separate documents. So before we could introduce this new one, I needed to audit the existing set.
And that's when things started to unravel.
Exactly. And I'll be honest, it was pretty uncomfortable. As I went through the documents, I realised just how easy it is for inconsistencies to creep in. Some documents had been created years earlier. Others were newer. Some referenced documents that had since been renamed. Some referenced documents that no longer existed at all. Emergency contact lists included people who had left the organisation. Job titles had changed. Procedures had evolved, but not everywhere. Individually, each document looked fine. But as a system, cracks were appearing. And when you're dealing with a stack of PDFs, those cracks are almost impossible to spot until you go looking for them. And even then, mistakes will still be made.
What did that mean for you personally?
It honestly caused me to lose sleep. Because when you strip it back, this isn't about paperwork. If something goes wrong and those documents are scrutinised by investigators, regulators or worse, someone has to take responsibility. And in the worst case scenario, it's not just reputational damage, lives could be lost. That realisation hit hard. This was supposed to be gold standard, and I suddenly saw how easily that standard could slip without anyone noticing.
So what was your next step?
I assumed a solution already existed. I thought, surely there's software out there that handles this. Something with a master data structure, where you enter your key people, policies, phone numbers, roles, and that information flows automatically into every relevant document. Change an emergency contact once and it updates everywhere. Rename a policy and the references update automatically. So I went looking, and I kept looking for about a year. There was nothing, not for events, not at this level of complexity, not that treated safety documentation as a living system rather than a collection of files. So eventually we made the decision to build it ourselves.
And what did you set out to build? How does that translate on the ground during an event?
Something deliberately simple. SafetyDocs is a platform where safety documents can be uploaded, edited, or created from scratch in one place. It works on mobile and desktop. Every change is logged. What changed, when and by who. At the heart of it is master data. If an emergency contact changes, that update flows instantly into every document that references it, whether that's 5 documents or 35. Risk assessments can be updated in real time by teams on the ground, and those changes are logged. That's been a big one. because what the industry has needed for years is live working risk assessments, not static ones written weeks earlier. This is where it really comes to life. You can add maps, diagrams, flowcharts, images of evacuation routes. Phone numbers are click to call. Documents are searchable. If a steward finds themselves in a stressful situation, they can search terms like lost child, acid attack, or active threat and be taken directly to the relevant actions. And, critically, not everyone needs to see everything. Every document and even individual pages can be permission-based, so people only see what's relevant to their role.
You didn't just launch this quietly, did you?
No, we tested it properly. We rolled SafetyDocs out at 3 large events, each with over 7,000 attendees and several hundred app users. The feedback was incredible. People said it was easy to use, that the information was genuinely in their hands. And for the first time, teams felt confident, not just that their documents looked good, but that they would actually work in a real emergency. And yes, while duty of care is always the priority, there was also confidence that the documentation would stand up to scrutiny, whether from an enquiry, an inspection, or the SIA.
So where does SafetyDocs go from here?
After that testing phase, we knew it worked. Now we're rolling it out to other event organisers at costs far below what bespoke software would normally require. This isn't about exclusivity, it's about raising standards across the industry. In terms of security, the platform is hosted and protected by the same infrastructure providers trusted by banks, HMRC, and organisations handling highly sensitive data.
And if someone wants to explore it themselves?
They can visit safetydocs.org and start a free trial. No pressure. Just a chance to see what live connected safety documentation actually feels like.
David, thank you. That was a powerful story, and one I think a lot of people in this industry will recognize.